Hello, my name's Greg Lehman, and I get to be a part of a locker room as a part of the gathering in Centerville that meets every other week. And so Jeff had asked me if I would just share a few thoughts and encouragements as to what the Lord has been teaching me and encouraging me in during this time. And so I wanted to start with just a passage that's been really impactful and meaningful out of John 1. And so it's John 1:43 through 51. And if you look in there, it's a story that's probably familiar to many of us where Jesus is calling Philip and Nathaniel. And so I'm going to just read it and kind of share what the Lord's been doing in this. And so it starts, the next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, "Follow me." Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." And I love this next response from Nathaniel. And, it's just kind of an honest response. And he says, "Nazareth, can anything good come from there?" And I think for me, during this time where we're all practicing social distancing and life has changed in many ways significantly, you can kind of have this thought, can God do anything good out of this? And I think for me, the way the Lord's spoken to me is to say, yes, like God in no way is surprised by this. He continues to work. And even though it's a hard thing, we can embrace it and walk through it. And so he continues just to kind of change our notions and my conceptions, change my conception of how I deal with adversity or hard things. And so I love that Nathaniel's honest and just says, "Nazareth, can anything good come from there?" And, we know context of that in that time, kind of what was thought culturally of Nazareth, etc. And so then there's this great response to that from Philip, and Philip just says, "Come and see." Like there's not he doesn't go into a long speech or anything. He just says, "Come and see, check it out for yourself." And so, the story goes on. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said to him, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." And I love this next question that Nathanael asked to Jesus. He says, "How do you know me?" And you think of that and you go, here he is asking Jesus, the Son of God, "How do you know me?" Because Jesus has said something to him that gets right to his heart when he has spoken to him. And he said, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." There's this, just immediately Nathanael realizes he knows me. And he's almost surprised or taken aback. Like, "How do you know me?" And it's funny how, for me, often I forget that God just knows me inside and out. He knows me better than I know myself, and he cares. And so it's this wonderful reminder that God knows us, that he cares about us. And so even in hard things where we think, Lord, what is happening? That God is doing something in us, and that God knows us, and that he cares about us. And so the story goes on. Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were under the fig tree before Philip called you." And this here is enough that Nathanael then declares. He says, "Then Nathanael declared, 'Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel.'" And so in this moment, it's the created and the creator in recognition, where the created recognizes the creator and says, "You know me. You are the Son of God." And so Nathanael recognizes who Jesus is, that he is not just a man, but that he is the one who made him and knows him. And so it's this beautiful moment we have in Scripture. And then in verse 50, it says, Jesus said, "You believe because I told you I saw you under the fig tree. You will see greater things than that." He then added, "Very truly, I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." And what an amazing thought and passages he points back to the Old Testament, as he points back to the story of God's working and movement throughout history, to just realize what he's promising Nathanael here, that he's promising him life, that he's saying to him, "You're going to see greater things than this," And so I love this passage because it just reminds me, the Lord's really used it to remind me, one, come and see what the Lord's going to do, that God is the same today as he was yesterday and throughout all eternity, that he's still God. His heart, his character, his love for us hasn't changed a bit. And then also that he knows us deeply and intimately. And in this time, I think that's so important, just to be known by the Lord. So we can continue to just come to him And then he promises that we are going to continue to see him and that we're going to see greater things. And so that's just been a great encouragement to me in this time. So I wanted to share that with you.